On this episode of One Man, One Hand, and No Real Plan, we make a vent! Some of my more astute viewers may have noticed this giant piece of 18 gauge steel. Remember kids, pretty people should always wear full face shields. Ta-da! Some of you may be wondering why I decided to cut this out. This explains it more than anything. I have tried to patch this at least 5 or 6 times, and it just doesn't hold. It just keeps, it's so brittle. That's what it does. It won't structurally stays down, and so I'd be cutting out these big chunks, and there's all kinds of really bad, it was pitted really bad with rust. So as I was looking at it, the worst part was right here where the bed sat and held all that garbage, and it kept, you know, that possum was pissing all over it and making it a pain in the butt. And so I just decided that the best way to fix it would be to make a whole new square section that wasn't brittle, wasn't falling to pieces every time I tried to patch it, and wouldn't look like a quilt by the time I was done. With the air conditioning installed, our hole 41 1/4 across, 24 inches tall. So I'm just gonna cut 2 feet off one end. I'm gonna put this board under the bottom so I can cut all the way. Just a little blood. So now I'm going to set the piece we cut off inside here and mark our edge. As you can tell, I didn't have it straight in there, but quite honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm going to cut an edge around it all is what I'm going to do. This is my bead roller, and I've got a step in this. I'm going to run that step in here, hopefully.
It was at this moment that he knew.
So I ended up making a quick stand to be able to hold my bead roller so I could try and do this, because doing it in the vise was just not going to work. What I've got set up is I've cut this to the height of this shelf so I could use it to hold it, and then I'm just hopefully going to be able to spin it and pull it through. think it shows up better on the back. Maybe what we did to try and give us a lip to work with all the way around. What I think I'm going to do is recreate a pattern similar to these squares that were originally in the back. And it won't be exactly the same, but it'll share it. And so I laid out, basically I found center. Dead center runs right down the middle of this piece of tape. And so I've got 3 inches on this side and 3 inches on that side. So it's 6 inches total across there. From our ridge that we made to be able to set it in there, I went in an inch. So this would be 5 inches and 5 inches. And the idea being that it would lay out those squares. I just realized
light bulb.
I laid it out on the back. So I got that going for me.
One eternity later.
So I relayed this out on the proper side this time, and I've switched out the dies to my thickest bead roll. It's just gonna put a round shape in it. It's not gonna be the exact same thing as what was done before, but I think it'll simulate it and it'll look good, and most importantly, it'll strengthen this and keep vibration out of it. And so I loosened this up, and now I'm gonna start to put some pressure on it to see if we can't start rolling. This is where having 2 long arms would be nice. But we're not chasing perfection as much as we are function, quite honestly. Now mine's not deep enough, so I have to do it the other way now. Actually, I just realized that I'm not going to be able to do it from either side. Hooray! So I'm going to have to figure out something for that. So in looking at this, I'm going to run a straight line, as many as I can reach, and then do it from the top down too, and make that the pattern all the way through that. I think that'll look all right. So I laid out my 3 horizontal lines to help strengthen the middle. I think I can reach them all. And so I've got the first one set, and I just got to tighten this down and see what we can make break. And I started inside from where I ended the 2 curls so that I could just go up to it and try and make it look finished. I mean, this isn't perfect, but I'd like it to look halfway decent. these that I've made, and I'm gonna try and clean up a couple of the edges real quick. This is just some wax and grease remover to clean it up a little bit. I actually think it turned out pretty good. I put some weld-through primer around the edge that's going to sit against the cab, and now we'll see if we can't get it lined up.
Eternity later.
I like that. That looks pretty good.
Nice.
Now that I've got it basically where I want it, I'm going to trim this right along here just a little bit. And then this is sitting flush down in that groove, and this is just a smidge tall. So I'm going to trim that just a little bit so it sits in, and that'll help tighten everything up along with that bottom piece. Just a quick showing you what I'm doing. I'm taking and putting some sheet metal screws, self-tappers, get it as tight as possible, and then I'm tacking along, and I'm just going to tack it all the way across. Now this isn't perfect, but it's absolutely going to be perfect for what I'm trying to do with it. It's good enough. I'm not trying to build a show car. I'm trying to build a truck I will drive and enjoy and not get caught up if some little kid walks close to my car. I don't want to bore you with a bunch of tack welding because it's just tack welding around it. But I've got it tacked all the way around, and it's sucked in and super tight. So now I just got to make the circumference and get it fully welded in. This is so much better than what was here before, and I feel like it's a lot safer. There's no weakness in this steel, but it's going to last a lot longer, and it's a whole lot stronger than what it was before. But, oh hey! I found a nut! Looks like I got a couple spots I did not get full penetration on.
That's what she said.
Or I didn't even touch.
That's what she said.
But I'm gonna go back and hit those. Wonder why we didn't get penetration where we didn't weld at all. Now we got full penetration everywhere.
That's what she said.
If you've enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button or even consider subscribing. Have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.